Hi everyone, today I'm going to be walking you through your intro to film day number 7 assignment. So let's go ahead and get started. You're going to see when you open up your assignment, we're continuing to work on our TEAC 5C, which is to identify production elements of theater, film, television, and other media. So the last couple of days, before I get to that, you will fill out your email, name, class period as usual. The last couple of days, we've been looking at different film shots and film angles, and now we're going to be looking more into how do you craft the story for a film. And so you are going to stretch using the song that I have provided here for you. I'm going to mark the stretches we do in our daily routine. Remember, if you can't do these stretches, that's okay, but try to do some stretches at your seat anyway, such as rolling your neck,
Teachers, please
rolling your
pardon the
shoulders,
interruption. Again,
doing
a call for
arm
seventh graders who need to
circles.
report.
One moment, guys. I'm going to pause.
At this time.
Sorry about that, guys. I paused the recording because they were doing some announcements and I didn't want that to be in our video. But anyway, as I was saying, make sure you do some kind of stretching, whether it's your arm circles, your neck rolls, your shoulder rolls, anything like that. Just get the body moving a little bit. That's the whole idea with your stretch. Once you move on to the facial stretch, make sure you do your deep breaths. That's in through the nose, big deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. Nice big audible breaths. That means breaths that you can hear. Do at least 3 of those big deep breaths. And then you can continue with your jaw massage as well as stretching out the muscles of the face by doing big face and little face. Very good. And then finish off with some tongue twisters, such as rubber baby buggy bumpers, rubber baby buggy bumpers, rubber baby buggy bumpers, unique New York, you know you need unique New York, or Russian wristwatch, Russian wristwatch, Russian wristwatch. Remember, any of the tongue twisters that you choose from the 2 slides that I provide for you or from any other slides are perfectly acceptable to do. And then when you get onto your daily activity page, you will see today we're going to learn about how do you tell a story using film. And then you will create an idea of a film narrative if you were making a film. And so we are going to watch a video with actor Seth Rogen. He has starred in, created, made all kinds of different movies before. And so he's going to talk a little bit about his process in doing that. And how he works in collaboration with certain people when he's creating his films. You'll answer these reflection questions about the video. And then today, what you'll spend the most of your time doing is to create your own film idea narrative. And so why do we need to make a narrative, or why do we need to really think about what our film is going to be about before we make it? Well, creating a narrative for your film helps you to organize your thoughts, and it makes your vision for what you want your film to be very clear. And so you're going to make up your own story idea for a film. The film can be any genre or type of film. And what you're going to be including in your narrative is going to be the characters, the setting, a complication, the action, and then the resolution. And so the way that you're going to do this is you are going to click the link there. You're going to make a copy. It's going to be a Google Slides assignment. And so when you make your copy, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to add your name to it. It's taking a minute to load. And so really what I'm giving you the option to do is I would like you to come up with your own story, but some of people I think get, maybe you don't want to have to make up your own story, or it's a little bit too difficult for you to decide what you want to do. So what you can do is, if you don't want to make up your own story, you can pick one of these 3 YouTube videos. If you click on the link, a short YouTube video telling the story will pop up. These are just little fairy tale stories. We have Little Red Riding Hood, 3 Little Pigs, and Cinderella. And you can use those stories as a way to make your narrative to finish your assignment. And then, of course, if you want to make up your own story, you can definitely do that. You can definitely make up your own. And so basically, all you're doing is you're kind of creating an outline for your story. So basically, we have this chart that you're going to be filling in. On this side, you have the part of the story that you're going to talk about. So in this first box, you're going to list the characters. Who is in the story? You can give me a little description of them, talk about their names, what they look like, or how old are they, or any other important things that we would need to know in the telling of your story. So in this box, you'd put something like, my story is about 4 best friends who get lost in the woods. They are teenagers around 16 years old, right? And so there, I've told a little bit about the characters. We know who they are. Ooh, Lost in the Woods. I could actually put that on setting. So that's what I'm going to do for that. And so I made up some names for my 4 best friends, Jenna, Jessica, Sally, and Susan. They're teenagers. They are around 16 years old. And Jenna, in my story, Jenna is the leader of the group. Because I think that'll be important to know for my story. And so the setting takes place. So you're telling us when and where do the events take place. So what's the time period and then what is the location? So So my setting is the story is set in present day, which means right now. And the teenagers are going to be taking a vacation at their parents' cabin in the woods. And so it takes place in the woods at a cabin. And they're on vacation in present day. Let's make it in summer. So notice the more I think about it, the more details I can add. The complication. So what's the problem? What's going to be the big obstacle or the big thing that the characters have to overcome or deal with? And so the big thing that happens is so my big complication is going to be that the girls decide to go for a walk in the woods. And while they're going for that walk, they're kind of walking. Jenna starts to kind of fall behind. And then when the girls turn around to kind of like see where she is or to make sure that she catches up, they find out that Jenna has suddenly disappeared. And so then my next section that I would fill out would be the action. So what are the characters going to do to solve the problem? And so what my characters are going to do is And then, so the girls, what they decide to do is the last three girls who remain besides Jenna, they decide to split up. So two of them stay together in the woods to like kind of look for Jenna, look around for her, start calling her name to see if she answers. And then the other one goes back alone, back to the cabin to try and call for help. And then your resolution is, how does the story end? And so my resolution, my ending is, how does the story end again? And so what I wrote down is the last girl, the one that went for help, makes it back to the cabin, and she calls the police, and then the police arrive and they start to search the forest. But what they discover is that now not one girl is missing, but now three. They can't find anybody. And so they're missing. And so that's my big general idea for how my story would go. Of course, I haven't included every single detail of the plot, but this gives us a nice general outline of what we can expect to see and happen in the movie. Once you have your chart fully complete, then what you will do is you'll go back to your Google form, check off that you made your copy and that you added your name to the title. And then what you're going to do is you are going to add your assignment to the Google form. You'll tell me how you turned it in. As you can see down here, you also have the option, if you don't want to upload this or if it's not working for some reason, you can still share your assignment with me by clicking this share button here, and you can add my name to the share. And that's it. That's me, G. Reyna at southwestisd.net. There's my email in case you need it. And then you'll hit send to share it with me if you want to share it with me that way. Once you're done, you'll uploading or sending it to me, you'll do your exit ticket question, which is, what part of your narrative did you find to be the easiest? Which part was the hardest? For me, I think the hardest part, honestly, the easiest part was to kind of come up with the setting. I think the harder part for me was figuring out how I wanted it to end. Did I want it to be a happy ending or more of a kind of like spooky ending, right? Which is what I ultimately went with. But you can answer that question for yourself depending on what you wrote about. Then once you're done, you'll click submit. And then that's it. You're done for today. I hope you found this video helpful. Remember, you can always reach out to me on Google Classroom comments, Remind text message, or by popping in on our live sessions during the day. All right, well, that's it for today, everyone. Remember, today is a great day. You're in control of you, and every day is a great day to try your best. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.